Hi, and welcome to another presentation from your business tutor, learning your way, anytime, anywhere. As much as it would be nice to collect market research from every customer a business has, in reality this isn't feasible, as it would take too long and would be far too costly. Given this, it can be seen why businesses choose to collect research from only a limited number of their customers. However, although this is more practical, it does create issues around the accuracy and reliability of the results. This is why today's presentation on sampling is so important, as it looks at how such issues might be addressed when selecting customers for market research. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we're going to find out what sampling is, and then we're going to explore the different methods of sampling a business can use. Okay, let's get started by asking, what is sampling? Sampling is about deciding who and how many from a group of customers should be surveyed so that the research collected is representative of that group. For example, if a business wanted to undertake research of its male customers aged in their 20s, then those chosen to be in the sample should be male and be spread across the age range of 20 to 29. In other words, female customers should not be surveyed, and neither should just male customers who are 24 years old. More than that though, sampling also requires a business to decide how many people need to be surveyed to ensure that the sample is representative of all their male customers in their 20s. In fact, if this is done effectively, the survey results won't just be accurate and reliable, but also unbiased. It is therefore clear that selecting a good sample is important. However, even if it is done effectively, a business needs to remember that the results produced won't be 100% accurate, as it is impossible to achieve a perfectly representative sample. Nevertheless, if done carefully, the accuracy of samples can be over 95%. So, with that, let's turn to look at different methods of picking a sample by first asking, what is random sampling? Random sampling is when those selected to be in a survey are chosen at random from a list. For example, if a business wanted to survey the whole population, it might select people at random from government census data. Whereas, if it wanted to survey its own customers, it might run a computer program on its database of customers to generate a random list. The key to a random sample, as you have probably already worked out, is that no criteria is used when selecting those to be surveyed. Given this, it can be seen that such sampling is incredibly easy to implement and use, which saves time. Better yet, as the sample chosen is random, it avoids bias creeping into the process, which can happen when those chosen to be surveyed are selected by an interviewer. However, although the sample chosen will be random and hence contain no bias, it does not mean the results will be representative. This is because the sample chosen may not be an accurate representation of the business's target market. For example, if a business selects its sample from government census data, it will include males and females of all different ages. However, if the business's target market is male customers in their 20s, using a sample based on government census data would not be representative, and therefore the results of any survey would be worthless. In fact, even if a business only selected people from its own list of customers, problems can still arise, in that random sampling may, by chance, over-represent a certain group. For example, if choosing from a list of male customers in their 20s, a random sample might select lots of customers in their early 20s compared to those in their late 20s. This again causes problems because the sample won't be representative if in reality the business has an equal number of customers in their early and late 20s. As such, once again, the results will be inaccurate especially if those in their early 20s have different viewpoints to those in their late 20s. What this shows is that random sampling only really works if the people on the list you are selecting from are very similar, so that it doesn't matter who is chosen. Given this is unlikely, sometimes random sampling is supported by selecting people at random from predefined lists. So in our example, random sampling could be chosen to select 50% of customers from their early 20s and 50% of customers from their late 20s, so that the combined sample is representative of all customers in their 20s. If this is done, it is referred to as stratified random sampling. And finally, another issue with random sampling is that once someone has been chosen, they must be interviewed. This can cause issues because if some of the people chosen are difficult to contact, it means collecting the research will take longer and it may also be more expensive to do. Okay, let's now move on to our second type of sampling by asking, what is quota sampling? Quota sampling is when those selected to be in a survey are chosen in proportion to certain characteristics they hold, such as their gender, age, income, hobby, religion, or a combination of those. For example, if a business wanted to survey its customers and 30% of them are male and 70% are female, then a survey of 100 customers should contain 30 males and 70 females if it is to be representative of their customer base. What this means is that if 30 male customers have already been surveyed and only 65 females, that the next 5 people to be interviewed must be female, as the male quota has already been reached. As can be seen, one of the big advantages of quota sampling is that the sample interviewed will be representative of the business's actual customers. This of course is really important, as it means that the research collected is likely to provide an accurate picture of a business's customers' viewpoints, meaning any decisions made will be based on reliable information. Better still, such sampling allows research to be carried out quickly, as the interviewer only needs to find suitable respondents that fit the criteria. In other words, they are not restricted to interviewing specific customers, which random sampling does. Instead, with quota sampling, if someone is not available, an interviewer can just interview someone else that meets the criteria. However, as you may already have worked out, quota sampling can suffer from bias, in that as those to be surveyed are chosen by an interviewer rather than at random, bias can seep into the selection process, meaning the results will not be as accurate. And of course, quota sampling only works if a business uses the correct criteria to select its quotas. For example, if a business decided to survey customers based on gender alone, it could end up with lots of elderly male and female customers being interviewed, which obviously would be an issue if many of its customers are in fact young adults. What this shows is that the business should have used gender but also age to select its quotas, so that more accurate results would have been achieved. However, to accomplish this, a business will need to spend more time and money making sure the criteria used to decide quotas are relevant so that accurate results are achieved. Okay, so what did we learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we found out what sampling is, and then we went on to explore the different methods of sampling a business can use. Sampling, as has been shown, is an incredibly important aspect of ensuring accurate market research results are achieved by a business in a cost-effective way. However, as with everything in business, those accurate results will only be achieved if the sampling method chosen is implemented correctly. If so, a business will have great research which it can use to gain a fantastic insight into how its customers feel about their organisation and its products.